Okay, I was lucky enough. I do have time to do another one. Again, this is another viewer request, and it's from Sylvie, so thank you for putting that forward. So this was regarding in relationships, and I'm under the assumption this is a relationship between a romantic relationship, but I guess it also could continue on to other types of relationship dynamics, but it's the idea between the INTJ female and the one side of, say, the cynicism, sarcastic, external communication with others, and then getting into, say, more of a intimate relationship with those people and having them surprised by the, like I said before, kind of the mushy interior that some of us INTJs experience. At least I know myself, I do. Sorry, I'm just reading my note here quick. Sylvie asks whether, like, how to resolve this issue. Again, not a professional. This is just my experience that I am speaking to, but I do understand this. This is something that I have come up with against quite a bit, and I'd like to hear what other INTJ females have in their experience. I'm going to speak to more of the dating side because it's more of the intimate piece. So going back, I always go back to the idea of 20s, 30s, 40s, because it, for me, seemed to be a lot different in each of those stages. When I was more in the dating scene, when I was younger, I found I presented definitely more of a facade of, you know, the quick one-liner, the response, I'm hanging out with the guys. And I say facade only because I use that in the way that I didn't know how to display what was the soft mushiness, or how I could even understand what that was. I wasn't the typical girly girl stereotype with interest in watching romantic movies and that type of thing. And quite frankly, those stereotypes didn't really jive with my instinctual feeling about who I was deep at my core. So basically, I just defaulted to the attitude that I had in my everyday life. So the way that I dated was basically similar to the way I had friends. I had lots of guy friends, and I love just hanging out and having a good time, and just chatting, and especially with people with great senses of humor. And I've spoken to that before, where I have to say the sarcasm piece, if I find that in someone else, I love it, because I find sarcasm quite attractive in the idea that usually the double entendre is something that is someone who is more intellectually driven. So it was, like I said before, it was a good way of kind of sifting through the folks that either get sarcasm or don't. And I get that for myself, I definitely came across maybe as more of a, not tough, but maybe more of the masculine ideals of talking to someone. So in effect, I never did get to have those romantic dates, because they're working through this facade of, oh, well, this is what you see is what you get. And I mean, again, I'm in my younger years when I'm speaking here. You're not going to expect a certain amount of complexity when it comes to the dating candidates that you're interacting with. So then the other side, I get that too, where say you do get to a certain point with someone, and I have to admit most of the people in my life that I've dated, they usually came through some sort of friend situation that just turned into more. And I think that for myself, it was a comfort level thing. It wasn't, I wasn't the one that wanted to go pick up at the bar. So anyways, the soft side, I can appreciate that because some folk that you might be interested in, they might be more not single-minded, but the idea that they aren't looking for more depth. So they don't have a gut instinct that, oh, there might be more underneath. They're just taking you at surface level. And when you allow a person into a certain amount that you warrant having more of your soft innards coming out, sometimes those people that are more, superficial, I guess, they won't be able to make sense. They've already accepted you at that level, and that's all they want to see. And it is something that has nothing to do with you, the individual, but it is hard to take when you're navigating dating, because that soft piece tends to, at least for me and as an INTJ female, tends to just get sucked right back inside. And I would chalk it up as that's another reason why I don't allow the facade to of the tough exterior to come down. So what I did notice though is once I started navigating dating when I was a little bit older and a little bit more comfortable with being who I am, good and bad, regarding dealing with the dating scene, I did notice that the people that did like complexity did start coming out of the woodwork. And they probably were there all along. I just wasn't ready to myself handle someone who was real and complex. So I do get that. And one thing I did notice is that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy pretty much either way. But with the ability to link up and have someone positively reinforce your soft inner, as we'll say, it is something that helps you, or myself at least, leaps and bounds in understanding that the entire spectrum of who you are is acceptable and good, and not just for the other person, but for yourself, that you tie all those together and you own exactly the pieces that make you you. So anyways, I hope that helps. I hope I managed to touch on some of the issues that you might be experiencing. And as always, love to hear everyone else's thoughts, comments, own personal experiences, and thanks so much for watching.